The reason we've got you here today is because you have posted a well, actually, it's many things over the past few weeks related to race relations, the history of race relations, and of course, the latest posting today is the definitions around those race relations, because these are difficult conversations, and the least we can do is be respectful not only to our wonderful colleagues in the BIPO community, but also ourselves, and respectful of ourselves and the people that we have the conversations with, to at least get the terminology right, wouldn't you think?
Exactly. Well, right may be a strong term. I don't know if you've noticed in the streets of downtown America, they're splitting into 2, 3, or 75 different camps. So
Right.
People are using different terms. So I like your idea. There isn't one truth. There are sort of two opposing truths. And like a good Trompenaar student, it's like reconciling or finding some middle way. That was the idea, so that we can all just relax a little bit, take on what we have to take on, so that we can all reasonably. So that's the general concept there. So there's not an absolute. I mean, I've taken liberties with Mr. Kendi or Miss D'Angelo or Glenn Lowry or whoever to do my own thing. So for us, nothing's new really. So I think it's for people to feel more comfortable and get involved, join the party, join the dialogue.
Yeah, well, that's the least we can do. Join the dialogue and learn, because that's what I've been. I think it was great because it actually showed a few things of terminology that I probably had misunderstood, misconstrued, and applied my own definition to. So, and so I'm glad you've done the work, because I'm lazy. But that's good. You've done the work, and but seriously, I think it's a really great. A great service. I mean, Matthew is one of these people that gives a lot of content. You've got your Culture 99 blog that you put a lot of content out, and you send newsletters every month, and we all wait with bated breath for them to land in our inbox. But seriously, yes, the recent content has been very valuable, and I encourage everybody to go. We'll put a link in the comments. But so what are some of the key? Let's start with, I guess, the actual word racism. It's at the top of the list in your list, right? And so let's just start with that one. I mean, that of course we can many definitions of that. Let's just start with that one for
exactly. So I start with calling it sort of 3.5 racisms. If you look, and this is the main problem. The main problem, we're starting at the top of the show with the big concept. Say, Christoph will know, Christian, in Germany, I used this word in a diversity class near Wiesbaden back in February. It was the last gig before lockdown, and everyone freaked completely out. How dare you? You know, the implicit association test, and you can do various versions of it. And I said, well, I might as well have a go at race. They all completely had this huge reaction. So it's because of the traditional idea. It's, one superior group who are determined to do something very unpleasant to the inferior group. That makes them a racist. Okay, so we could just hold that for a second. It's the fear and the history and the baggage and the crazy around that which really are a problem for the three of us today. Whereas if you take Ibram Kendi's idea of being an anti-racist or a not racist and so forth, what I really love is we can go light years forward and say that sentence was problematic and the next sentence wasn't. So we can get away from this branding of that person is a racist, lock them in that room, that's the racist room forever. And that's the fear. That's why everyone would, there are some words which I won't use today. People don't want to be called this, but racist is probably one of the top of the line 2020 in vogue avoids. Whereas it's okay. I have racist thoughts. So do you. So does everyone viewing. I can make many mistakes. I can upset people. I can get it totally wrong. I can be ignorant. I'm a fairly relaxed person as I say that. It's okay. If we give ourselves a ticket where we can make 1,000 mistakes in the next year, we can have the dialogue, we can have the discourse. So the idea, someone like Kendi is going pretty strong in a different direction. He's saying it is the promotion of policy, of structure, which promotes inequity. So one, it's policy and structure. Did you vote for it? Have you got power? Are you exploiting your power? Are you designing your power around these systems? Then the proof of the naughtiness of that is the inequity that it produces. And then the third phase of that, and this is where the dialogue happens and where the media are playing it all out, and it's very oppositional. It's the justification of the policy, and that really is where the racist nonsense comes out, and the extremism comes out. And to be honest, it's been a fascinating, disgusting, and fascinating debate to bunch who's saying what and why and so forth. But it's a mess. It's a mess. So the job of relatively intelligent folk like us is, and I think the three middle-aged white blokes on the screen, I think we are bringing other white folk up with this idea. So what I've tried to do is just to make it as accessible to people like me so that they can enter the debate. There is this assumption that people of color are all race experts and are desperately keen to educate us white folk. There is fatigue, there is exhaustion, and they're not necessarily experts. They're living their lives, and there is not this thing called a black monolith. There isn't one black population, and we dismember race and racism. The concept of race is a fake concept, although the social implications of those categories are incredibly real and very painful. Yeah, so that's the idea. So just to summarize my little rant there. Let's relax. We're all going to say the wrong stuff, probably within the show as well. And it's okay, because it's the intention to get past it to something of value a little bit later.